What is up, guys? So this video will be about the season finale of Arrow Season 7 that is coming out in around a month from now. We do know a lot about the season finale. Obviously, it is a season finale, which means that Team Arrow will most likely be facing off against the Ninth Circle, the main villains, along with Dante and Amiko in that finale, unless they do something different, because they have been doing things differently ever since Season 6 began. So it's possible that they might do something different where the second to last episode, which will act more like a season finale than the actual last episode of the season, where the Green Arrow and Team Arrow face off against Dante, the Red Arrow, and the Ninth Circle, and probably take them down as well, while the actual 22nd episode of this season, which I know there's usually 23, this season actually only has 22, and I don't really know why, but that's just the case, also for the Flash Season 5, but for this 22nd episode of Arrow Season 7, I feel like it will act more like an epilogue than a actual season finale, where the actual main story where they beat the main villain happens in the 21st episode, while the 22nd episode has a bunch of different storylines, concluding some parts of the season, but also leading into the next season, which the season finale does as well, but this will be a little bit different, where they already beat the main villains in episode 21, and that moves on to this episode, which doesn't have any main villains at all. It kind of might feel like a different season, and this one episode that is not a part of any season at all, or maybe it feels more like an episode, season 8's episode, and that might be the case, but I think this will probably act as the epilogue for season 7, leading directly in to season 8. The reason I think that, first of all, this episode will have a huge departure from Arrow. Emily Rickards' last episode on the show as Felicity Smoke is this one, unless she returns for the series finale, which I think she honestly might, and it might feel a little weird if she doesn't, at least story-wise. I don't want her to return. I will be glad if she doesn't, but it seems like she's not actually going to die in the present day. She's going to survive, obviously, and take care of her daughter Mia in that house that she's in the flash forwards. I mean, she can't die in the present day because she's alive in the flash forwards. It's possible that she will die in the flash forwards, explaining why she isn't in the flash forwards after this episode in season 8, which we will see in the episode in the actual in the season finale. But I do think that considering she's not actually dying, it might be a little bit weird if she doesn't appear in the series finale of Arrow, but this will definitely be the last episode where she's a series regular, and there will be a lot of episodes after this one where she will not be appearing, which obviously I'm very happy about that, and I would be a lot more excited about this if Arrow Season 8 wasn't the last season, because there's only going to be like a small amount of episodes where Felicity does not appear. But I also think that considering Felicity is a huge departure from the show, and it might take up a huge part of the episode, like an entire storyline, probably connected to the main storyline as well, I feel like that will take up so much screen time that they won't really have time for the big main villain fight, and that could be saved for the 21st episode. But I think the main reason I think that this is more of an epilogue than a season finale is because of this set photo. This set photo shows the Monitor's costume on the right, as well as the Monitor's actor on the left, confirming that he's going to appear in the season finale, which can really only mean one thing, which is that this is leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I also think that this might be the scene where it's revealed what the deal was between Oliver and the Monitor, or Oliver and Marno Vu. If you remember, back in Elseworlds, when there was a pretty stupid scene where Kara and Barry, for some reason, were going to die from a thing that they probably shouldn't have done, but there was a pretty awesome scene as well, where the Monitor and Oliver had this conversation where Oliver somehow convinced the Monitor to save the lives of Kara and Barry, and it wasn't revealed how he did this, but it was hinted at or revealed that there was a deal between Oliver and the Monitor, which I'm guessing this deal, which is highly speculated to be trading Oliver's life and maybe one other person's life. I would guess Oliver and either Superman, although I don't really think that would work, but I think Oliver and Marno Vu himself trading their lives for Kara and Barry so that Kara and Barry could help with the fight against the Anti-Monitor next year. This means that Oliver will most likely be dying in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I think Marno Vu will as well. But this episode will reveal what will be that deal, and I'm guessing that will be it, that Marno Vu and Oliver will be switching their lives, or their deaths, for the deaths of what would have happened to Barry and Kara. It might be revealed that something different is going to happen, where they had some other deal, how Oliver convinced Marno Vu to spare their lives or to save them. I have no clue, honestly. I have no idea, but one thing I'm pretty sure about is that this season finale will not act as a season finale, but more act as a prologue, or a epilogue, to the season, setting up the next season and setting up Crisis on Infinite Earths, where it's revealed where that Oliver and the Monitor made some sort of deal and what that deal was. Emily Bett Rickards leaving the show, but I don't think there will be any battle between Team Arrow and the Ninth Circle in this specific episode, and I honestly think that even though it will be a pretty untraditional and very different season finale, this is a season finale or an epilogue that I think that the season kind of needs going into the final season with Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm definitely very excited to see the Monitor. He was a pretty awesome character in Elseworlds. I'm very excited to get back into the whole storyline of Elseworlds and Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is something that we haven't even been hinted towards at all since Elseworlds, which I definitely would have liked to seen some hints throughout the season. It's also been said before Elseworlds came out, or rather, in actually the casting call for the Monitor, it said that he was going to be a recurring character on all 4 of the shows. He might pop in here or there to monitor these shows, just like we're doing, because he is the Monitor, just to check things out. It turns out he has not appeared on The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, or Arrow at all, and that is kind of disappointing. I think that would have been a very interesting thing to see him just monitoring the shows as he is the Monitor, like in an episode or 2. I think it makes sense why he didn't appear, just because they're not going to pay an actor just for something like that. But at the same time, I don't understand why they put that in the casting call if they weren't going to do it. But even though he hasn't appeared on Arrow until this season finale, he is appearing in this season finale, hinting towards a pretty awesome epilogue to this season, setting up Crisis on Infinite Earths. And again, I'm very excited to see the Monitor. He was a pretty awesome character in Elseworlds. Oh, and actually one thing I didn't forget about, but I had no idea about, and I found out about it after I made this video, is that this episode is actually titled You Have Saved This City, which in my opinion would be an awesome, perfect title of the series finale of the show. This isn't the series finale, it's the season finale of season 7, the second to last season, but still I think this is a pretty awesome title for an ending of a season of Arrow, where he probably had saved this city in the previous episode, where he defeated the Ninth Circle, but obviously as a whole he didn't actually save the city. As we see in the flash forwards, this city's pretty screwed up in the future. I'm hoping that this episode shows something in the flash forwards that leads to the city being saved, or something in the present day that leads to the city being saved in the future. And honestly, this is a big problem with me and the flash forwards. It's that you can't have something like this where you have the title of an episode titled You Have Saved This City, which is an awesome title for the last episode of a season, or even the perfect title of a season finale of this show. But I also think that because of the flash forwards, it doesn't really work with the present day, because even if he does save the city, most of it's pretty screwed up in the future anyway. So I'm hoping that there's something that's happening in the future parallel to the present day, that the city's actually saved in the future and not only in the present day, so that Oliver's dream and Oliver's mission and crusade was all for something and it worked in the end through his kids. But I also think that even then it's a little bit less satisfying than Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow, fully saving his city that he wanted to save from the beginning. And that's one thing I think the flash forwards kind of robbed from us. But one thing it didn't rob from us is getting the title You Have Saved This City, which again, for the third time in this video, an incredible title of an episode of a season finale, but even better, a series finale. But it isn't. It could have been the series finale ending, or the season finale's title, the series finale's title. But still, again, incredible season finale episode title for this season. We will see if this season finale will be a good season finale. Hopefully it's on par with Sacrifice, Unthinkable, Lian Yu, and even Life Sentence. I doubt it will be as good as some of them, but it could be as good as others, which we will find out if it is or isn't in just a couple weeks when this episode finally comes out. I'm definitely very excited for this episode just because of the title. I think it's an awesome title, and the fact that Felicity's leaving, even though the actual scenes with her probably won't be very good and they're going to make the whole thing very emotional, which I won't be sad about it. I'll obviously be happy about it, but I'm glad she's leaving. And also the fact that the Monitor is showing up and the whole deal with the Monitor and Oliver probably going to be revealed in this episode. I am definitely very excited for this episode, more so than the actual technical season finale, because I don't really care about the Ninth Circle, and I don't really care about Dante and Emiko Queen as the main villains as much as most main villains. So now I'm much more interested in the Monitor, much more interested in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and again, I cannot stop gushing about this title, You Have Saved This City, which is just perfect. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about this finale in the comments down below. Do you love the title as much as I do? Are you excited or not excited about Felicity leaving? And are you excited to see the deal between the Monitor and Oliver finally be revealed in this finale? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.